thing is worth a try. So maybe I'll just manifest it. Who knows? Good morning from my truck. It's a beautiful morning, the sun's out, the wind is insane. So first thing I do is get that coffee on. I think most of us do. I'll read my little bit of The Secret. So that's why I'm not, all made up and for the day. So yeah, apologies for looking like this, but like I say, this is my real life. So I've got my coffee. I read a page or two every morning of The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. It's all about the law of attraction, manifestation, whether you believe in stuff like that. But I find if I read a couple of affirmations a day, it helps set my day, the tone for my day. I just find it really helps. And I mean, really, it's an amazing book. My daughter told me about it 10 years ago now, and I thought, what a load of rubbish. She said, Mum, I read this book and everything changed and it was great. And I do find because I've read the book, like, I mean, it's really worn, there's no cover on it anymore. It looks ratty and horrible. Joe and I both read the book, and when we read it, we find things kind of go well for a while. But I think as human beings, we're naturally quite pessimistic, and so we always think things will go wrong, and as soon as you start thinking things are going to go wrong, they generally do. So I find, a couple of affirmations a day. I mean, Joe will read a page a day. I don't know if that's something you're interested in. I'll just read you a little bit. I mean, the sort of theory is that if you think about bad things, you'll get more bad things, and if you think about positive things and things going right, then they generally will. So like how you can, I mean, there's an analogy in the book somewhere that says, how if you stub your toe, then everything goes wrong for the rest of the day, which because you're angry about stubbing your toe and it pees you off, and so it sort of sets your frequency for the day and your mindset for the day, and then things will just escalate and they'll get worse and worse and worse. And also how, like, I think we all think quite negatively, or we think about all the bad things all day long. So we I mean, I've mentioned before I have ADHD, and I have a lot of chatter in my brain. So it's a lot of the time I think we just concentrate, if we've got a worry or a bill or something, that will be what will be the main focus in our mind, no matter what's going on around us. So it's about changing your frequency to a good thought, a positive thought. So here we go, just one little quote, because the book is just literally full of quotes. It's a bit of a weird book to read. It's a very strange, but it has a lot of it's sort of like lots of little quotes from various philosophers and from history and things. So here's one little one by John Assaraf. He says, here's the problem: most people are thinking about what they don't want, and they're wondering why it shows up over and over again. And that's that what I just talked about, really, where if you're always thinking about the things you don't want, you're actually attracting them. So think about the things you do want, and you should attract those too. Another one from Bob Doyle, he says, the law of attraction doesn't care whether you perceive something to be good or bad, or whether you don't want it or whether you do want it. It's responding to your thoughts. So if you're looking at a mountain of debt, feeling terrible about it, that's the signal you're putting out into the universe. I feel really bad because of all this debt I've got. You're just affirming it to yourself. You feel it on every level of your being. That's why you're going to get more of it. So you see what I mean. But anyway, then so that it sort of goes through various, how the secret works, what it's about, how we generally think, how the secret works, how to use the secret, processes of using the secret for relationships, health, the worldview. It's just a great little book. it's just a great little book. But yeah, when you read it, you kind of think, oh, it's a weird book because it's lots of quotes. It doesn't kind of flow, but it works. And when you first read it cover to cover. Just sit and do it. Read it cover to cover, and then afterwards you will get up with a different mindset. You genuinely will. It's all about the law of attraction. So what you think about is what you attract, and it definitely works for me. And also, you know, I find that it's quite fun. You can kind of play games with it. So if you think, you know, if you there's somewhere you go regularly to go, perhaps you go shopping and it's the car park's always full, you think, oh, the car park's always full, there'll be traffic on the road, it's going to take me forever to get there. So guess what happens? Generally there's loads of traffic on the road and the car park's full and you can't park. So what I like to do is I like to visualize my car parking space before I get there, and think, right, today I'm going to park in that spot. That space is going to be open when I get there, and it is. Don't ask me how it works, but it works. It works, and it's amazing. So you can play some really good games with it. But right, take a look at The Secret. It's really good, and I do find I'm having a run of bad luck, or things aren't going right. I'll read The Secret, and then you change your sort of frequency mindset, and then things will go a bit better. It does for me, it does for a few people I know, and it's worth a try, isn't it? Surely it's worth a try. For some of you, you're going to think, what's this stupid old hippie woman talking about? It's all mumbo jumbo rubbish. But you know what? Life is really hard for a lot of people, and it's a real struggle. And I think anything is worth a try if it changes your mindset and makes you feel more hopeful. And so I guess why I'm telling you about The Secret is not because I want you to go and buy the book or anything, because I don't get anything for you going and buying the book, but I'd love you to buy the book just because it might help you and might make you feel better about things. I suppose it's just my little tip of the day really, is to try and start your day positively. So if you wake up and the first thing you say is, today is going to be the best day of my life, you're setting that tone for your day to say that it's going to be a great day. And sometimes it's so hard to say. Something awful might have happened the next day, something awful is happening in your life, but if you can get up and say it, just put the words out there, I'm going to have a wonderful day, it's just going to be the best day of my life. You're putting it out there into the universe, and you've already set your mind frequency at a level that says this is going to be a brilliant day, it's going to be great. Try it, because it might actually be a brilliant day, and I want to share that. So that's it. Today is going to be a beautiful day. Today is going to be the best day of your life. So yeah, anyway, that's enough of that. That's waffle. I still haven't managed to, as you can see, get dressed and put a face on. That's another thing. It takes me forever sometimes in the morning, but I am going to put my old painting overalls on today, because I may actually get in my studio and paint. I mean, I'd like to think I would, so I'll manifest it. I'll visualize myself going in the studio and picking up a paintbrush, and we'll see what happens. But I may well get distracted on the way, so we'll see. So some of you may or may not know whether you've watched any of my videos. I don't know if anyone's watched any of my videos. I started a YouTube channel literally a couple of weeks ago. No idea what I was doing or what I was going to put on my channel, to be honest. So it's all a bit varied, but if you want to have a look at my other videos, some of them are really cringy bad. But yeah, please do. It might be helpful to you if you're thinking about doing it and you think, oh, I'm going to make a mess of it, because then you could see me making a mess of it instead. But actually, as I've said before, I quite like to see people, warts and all, and their mistakes, and it helps me feel confident about that I can have a go. I don't have to, it doesn't have to be a glitzy fancy channel and all shiny. I'm just using my iPhone and a gimbal and that's it. And I don't intend to buy any fancy equipment. I edit on my iPhone, just do everything on my iPhone, and it's more than adequate. I use iMovie to edit, I use Fonto to make a thumbnail, and I'm just learning. That's stuff I literally learned from other people on other people's YouTube channels. So it's all out there. I love YouTube. There's so much you can find on there to help you learn how to do things. So yeah, I mean, if you don't want to see me sitting waffling and chatting, then, you know, scroll on by. Not every video is going to be me sitting here waffling, but some of them will. Some of them will be, if I feel like I want to tell you about something or have a chat about something. But yeah, it's going to be quite a varied channel. There'll be stuff from the Arts Centre, some of our events maybe. There'll be days out. Joe and I like to travel around the country in our camper van and see nice places, film nice places, and I want you to see them too, so there'll be a bit of that. So yeah, come along if you fancy it and you can put up with me, then I'd love to see more of you. That's basically what I'm saying. So basically, yeah, I now need to get dressed because this is ridiculous. It's getting late. Joe's out there. He's working already in the yard, doing a really grotty job actually. So I need to get my act together. I need to get dressed. I need to get out there, and then we'll come back in a couple of hours and have a big breakfast. So anyway, thank you for watching, and hopefully you'll like my video and hopefully you'll come back. If you don't, that's fine. Thank you. Bye for now.